As we bring you the latest, most up-to-date, important tech news that affects you from Australia and the world. Weekly podcast available each Friday through iTunes. Watch the live stream recording of the show at live.thesecrethub.com each Thursday night, 7:30pm or GMT plus 10. Call in live via Skype or chat in our lounge. However you get us, just make sure you do. Listen or visit our website for more information, www.aussietechhead.com.au. Aussie Tech Heads, Australia's longest running tech news podcast.
Techwebcast, streamed from our brains to our mouths, to your ears, to your brain. It's like our brains are holding hands. Brain hands. That doesn't really make sense, but Techwebcast does. Tech stuff, gadgets, games. Come and wander around geek heaven with us. Techwebcast, here, now. Holding brain hands.
All right. Welcome to episode 286 of Techwebcast podcast, recorded on the 3rd of May, 2014. Techwebcast is recorded every Saturday, every broadcast on Aussie Tech Heads on Thursday nights at 7 p.m. Please rate us on iTunes and like us on Facebook /Techwebcast. Our hosts today are Brad, Steve, Jen, myself, Jacob, Jody, Mark, and Paul. Our guest today is Julia Roy.
Well done. That's where we need a sound effect. Jacob, well done, mate, in the intro. Very read well.
Thank you.
Welcome to the show, Jacob.
Thank you.
How's your week been, mate?
All right.
Good stuff. All right. Paul, how are you, mate? Long time no chat. You've been away for a while?
Yeah, lots happened the last couple of weeks. But yeah, it's holidays and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm back now. So it's all good.
Good to have you on, mate. Good to have your opinions on the news as well. Mark, welcome back. You've also been on here before.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
No problem. Also, we got Steve. Welcome back, Steve. How's your week been?
It's been good. Not a lot has been going on this week for me. Fairly quiet.
Good stuff. By the way, what laptop do you have, by the way, Steve?
Me? I've got the just MacBook Pro 2009.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
Good stuff. And also got Jennifer on. Welcome, Jennifer.
Hey, Brad. How's it going?
Good. I'm good, thanks.
Good.
How's your week been?
It's been busy. I revived my Sling box and got that working, and then I attended a conference for a few days. So a little bit of travel, a little bit of tech. Good week.
Cool. What do you what was that thing called you got? That they said,
what's that?
What was Sling box.
Sling box, yeah. So I had, I bought one a while ago and I had networking issues with it. So I decided to try it again after I got a new router and modem, and now it works great. So I was at the conference and I fired up my iPad and opened up the Slingbox app and was able to watch my TiVo, and it was kind of cool. So I really, it's been around for a while, Slingbox, but it's nice to finally have it set up properly and working on my network.
Good stuff.
Can you mention what you got? The new modem and router?
It was an Asus. I can't remember the number. I'd have to look it up. And the modem was a Motorola something, but I have to look it up. I don't remember, Jacob. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
All right.
Yeah, at least you remember something.
All right, yeah. We got Jody back on after.
I'm afraid about that. It's the old age, I'm senile now. Yeah.
All right, we got Jody back on after a couple of weeks. How are you, Jody? Have you been well?
Been on a whirlwind tour with my puppy Jewel, who's been doing great at the dog shows. We were in Delaware, we were in Maryland, we were in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, and tomorrow we've got more dog shows the whole weekend, next weekend, the following weekend, all the way up and down the East Coast. And she's doing great. She's winning all kinds of pretty ribbons, which is excellent.
And in Florida?
Yes, as a matter of fact, I'll have to catch up with you about that one. Yeah, we're probably mid-June.
There you go, Jake. There you go, Jake. Meet up with Jody.
Yep. We'll have to do a broadcast from sunny Florida.
Definitely. You could meet up and have a coffee or something, Jody, with Jacob.
There you go. And you can meet Jewel.
Yeah.
There's a lot of coffee places out here anyway.
Good thing. I don't go anywhere there's no coffee.
Sweet. Also have Julia on. Welcome, Julia.
Hello, thank you.
New microphone.
New microphone! It's so exciting.
It is indeed.
We have construction across the street, and I've wanted to record a bunch of stuff, but when I record it, and you can hear the jackhammering in the background, so
wow.
The investment will be well worth it.
It is. It is. Already is worth it. You sound fantastic.
Thank you. And Jody, I'm stalking you on Facebook right now, and your dog is beautiful.
Oh, thanks, Julia. And I've got my own envy.
the beauty of Google.
Yeah.
Just took me like 3 seconds.
That's dog cool. Envy, aren't we?
Dog envy. I'm gonna steal your background and be like, that's my dog.
Profile.
Yeah, she's really cool. And then I have another one who's 3. He already has his championship, and he does search and rescue. So
he's 3 now. It's like the child prodigy. He's 3 and he has his championship.
I know, right? So yeah, now we're working on hers. She just does beauty pageants. He does real work.
Oh. I would love a reality TV show, like the Pageant Moms, but it's for the pageant dogs.
That'd be cool.
Oh my god, what a great idea! I love it.
Probably.
Do you have any pets? Do you have a dog?
I do not. I babysat a corgi last week, and I'm having a bit of withdrawal.
Oh, okay.
For sure. But as soon as he left, I immediately started vacuuming for like 4 hours.
Oh, wow.
It felt really amazing to get rid of all the hair. It's a bit of a shocker when you first are like, oh no, everything's gonna have hair on it.
Or have some doggy Shakespeare.
So, yeah.
Okay. All right, Jacob. Now you mentioned before the show you want to talk about the TiVo software or some sort of software you got.
Yeah, for my TiVo, the transfer software.
Well, what do you want to mention about it?
I like it. It actually helps me, like if I wanted to leave my house and like if I had a laptop or something, I could just transfer the video over. I can watch it wherever I want.
Jennifer, you have a TiVo. Have you heard about this before?
The software, Jacob showed it to me. I have never used it, but I have seen it before.
Okay.
And I think it's cool that he has it, so he'll be able to play around with it. I look forward to hearing and seeing the review that Jacob is going to do.
You're doing it.
Can I add something into it for it?
Go ahead, Jacob.
Well, when you transfer to the box, it only uses the MP4, like the Apple format.
Oh, interesting. It doesn't use VOB files?
Well, what it does is you have the MP4 on your computer. It hits the transcoder. Then when it hits the TiVo, then it's in a VOB file, the normal VOB file. But if you use views, then you can get the other files. It only accepts the one file, MP4. So you have to use views, but views has its own little hiccups whenever it does transcoding, because sometimes while I'm watching the video, you can hear it crack and pop a lot.
Okay.
Oh, I haven't had that issue. Interesting. Hey, I just wanted to say really fast, happy birthday to both Brad and Paul. You both had birthdays this past week.
Yeah, thanks. Appreciate it.
I think your birthdays are 1 day apart, right?
Yeah, yes, indeed. Paul, did you have a birthday?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a birthday weekend. Yeah, it was great. So, yeah, I'm the big 3-0, so that means I'm 5 days away from a midlife crisis.
Okay.
So
all right, let's not go there. So, Paul, have you heard much about the TiVo software at all?
I've heard of it and I've played about with it, but I haven't really gone into it and that type of stuff.
Okay. All right. And tell us about your new MacBook Pro you got not long ago.
Mac Pro?
Mac Pro, yeah, whatever it's called, yeah.
Yeah, it was 7 weeks wait. It was pretty interesting that I waited that long for a computer, but other than that, it was it seems to be working really, really well for the price I paid for it.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I hope it's worth it for the price you paid for it. Better
Yeah.
$1,000?
No, it's more than that, God.
Oh, much more.
Shit. Much more than that.
What configuration did you get?
Tell us about it, Paul. Tell us what specs you get and that sort of thing, you know?
Well, I did a custom build, so I did 6-core model with the D700s in them, 64 gigs of RAM, and 512 gigabyte SSD or whatever it comes with it. Yeah, it's been working really well. I actually started to do the whole 4K video stuff. That was the main reason why I got the S5, because it was the cheapest 4K video camera you could get.
Yep.
So that's why I wanted to start doing that with 4K. So yeah, it worked out pretty well so far.
Nice one. Can you believe that David DeFranco got one for free? People actually bought him one?
Yeah, I know. I was going, and he ordered it like a month after me, and he got it before me.
Yeah, exactly. What? What's your view on that, Paul? About people doing that for other people? You know, that's a good thing or what?
I don't know, but for the stuff that guy does, I suppose it's probably worth it. Like, I think he does a lot of marketing for people and that sort of thing for help them out on their YouTube channels and that sort of stuff. So he worked for it. So it's not like he got it completely for free.
Yeah, definitely.
He did actually provide some services for those donations, so it was actually not too bad.
Yeah, good on him. And what about you, Mark? What's your view on all this?
I think it's okay as long as you're just upfront about it and actually, tell people if you were given something for free or provided with something for review, that sort of thing.
Yeah, exactly. And what have you been up to, Mark? For the last time we spoke, you been getting any new equipment to review and that sort of thing?
I haven't been doing so many YouTube videos. I've mainly been pretty busy with work.
Okay.
Nothing too exciting really. I've sort of gotten into Lego a bit lately. I'm not sure why. So I'm not sure if you've seen all of the Simpsons Lego they've been releasing lately.
Okay. No, I haven't seen it.
They released a big house. It's not cheap. You can get the Simpsons house for I think $250. I'm just debating over that at the moment.
Oh yeah. And you also asked me a question about Foxtel. I can't remember what the question was you asked me the other day. Something how much I'll pay or something.
Oh yeah, I was just wondering what package you're on.
Yeah, I'm on the platinum one, and I'm getting a pretty good deal for it.
Yeah. I just had to give Foxtel a call up yesterday. Every 3 months, I give them a call and try and get a bit of discount.
Yeah.
You might have seen the Whirlpool thread on the Foxtel bargaining.
I have seen that. I've seen that thread a few times, and a lot of people are not happy. I don't think.
Yeah, it's a bit of a pain. I just call them up every 3 months and get 50% of the package basically, which I'm happy with.
And what did you get? How much you paying now?
I think I'm paying it's $83, and I get everything except sport plus the second box.
Gee, that's all right.
I'm pretty happy with it. It's usually like 140 or 150 or something with no discount.
That's all right. Good
so
stuff,
pretty happy with that. Yeah.
Stuff. And you're on a 3-month contract.
No contract.
No contract. Oh, wow.
The discount, they will only give you the discount for 3 months at a time. So every 3 months you have to call them up and hope that you get a nice person. And if you don't, you need to call them back. It's a bit of a hassle. Yeah.
I'm getting a little bit annoyed about these Indian people answering the phones over there. I wish they would answer.
What you need to, when you try and get a discount, you need to call their retentions department because only they will give you the discount. The sales people won't give you a discount.
Okay, all right.
And all of their retentions people are only in Australia.
Yeah,
they're just sales people everywhere, pretty much.
All right, good stuff, mate. Enjoy the Foxtel. Paul, what about you? You got Foxtel?
I was tempted because the only time you can actually watch Game of Thrones is on pretty much Foxtel, which is really, really annoying because I usually download it from iTunes. The fact that they've exclusively only put it on Foxtel is really, really annoying.
It is,
because I really want to see season 4.
Yep.
I am tempted to go with Foxtel, but I've already missed, I think, 3 or 4 episodes already, so I'm not...
Yeah, well, if you get the IQ box, you can actually download the whole season of it, or where have you missed so far. You can actually download the episodes, what you missed so far.
Oh, right, yeah, that's right. They have that web feature, don't they?
Yep.
Okay. I'm still thinking about it.
Yeah, don't rush.
That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah. Don't rush into it, but yeah, you can also get Foxtel Play too, so you can get month to month.
Yeah.
Big plug for Foxtel there. Okay, let's get into some news. Jody Rains.
Okay, so I'm going to do them a little bit out of order because we were just talking about one of my favorite subjects, which is kind of like that idea of binge viewing.
Yep.
And ABC is going to put the entire season of Chris Lilly, Jonah from Tonga on iView before it airs on TV. Interestingly enough, it seems like more and more the alternative networks and also the conventional networks are taking programming and they're making it available so you can go on and you can watch episode after episode. I don't know if you guys prefer watching stuff on a tablet or a smartphone or a laptop instead of TV. I know my kid does, and sometimes I do too, but if you like this kind of concept of binge watching, ABC has you covered. Auntie is set to stream every single episode of Chris Lilly's new show, Jonah from the Tonga, on its online catch-up platform iView before the season premiere next week. The ABC will pack iView to the gills with Jonah content this weekend, with viewers able to stream the new show first online from 6 p.m. on Friday. Was that yesterday, Brad?
Yes, that's correct. Yep.
Okay, the whole season will become available on iView until 6 p.m. on Sunday when it's taken down. The show will go back up episode by episode as it airs on ABC One. So you guys on the other side of the pond, did you watch this? Is this like a popular show?
Yes, it is. I seen it last night. Very funny. Have you seen it, Paul or Mark?
I haven't heard of it till now.
Really?
So, what is this show about?
He's a New Zealand guy, and he's really funny.
Well, it says Jonah from Tonga.
Yeah, it's
a Jonah.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
It's a comedy show. He's been in other shows like Angry Boys and.
He's the guy from what is it? All that he does the same weird show stuff.
Yeah,
he's always changing his character.
Yeah, that's it. Him.
Oh yeah, okay. So this is his latest stuff.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
Cool.
Yep. Okay. Mark, have you seen it?
Not yet. I might check it out tonight. I wasn't aware that they were taking it down on Sunday, so probably better get watching it.
Yeah, get into it, mate. It's very funny. Very funny.
That's good.
Very funny. I know you got. I think Jody. Is it true that you might be getting it over there too? Or maybe I don't know.
I haven't. You know what? I haven't seen it.
I'm pretty sure.
In the US, you mean?
Oh yeah. That might have been the BBC. Maybe it's getting it. Maybe.
Well, it says it's going to be BBC in the UK, but
there you go. Yep.
Honestly, I've never even heard of the show. So
I know.
It's like is he like a 40-something guy posing as a high school guy?
Sort of. Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. It's very.
It sounds funny.
It is very funny. Yeah, it is funny. Yeah, it's very funny.
Yeah, sounds like it.
I'm going to see if I can. I wonder if we can see it here in the States. I'm going to try it and see if it. I guess so. If it's airing on the website, I guess I don't see why not.
Well, yeah, Jacob actually tried to get on there a while back, and he couldn't get on there because.
Yeah, a lot of times if it's another country, they don't allow outside the country to do it unless you buy the season somehow through somewhere else. But
I guess I'll be torrenting then. I guess.
You can always hang out anyway, Jennifer, if you want to watch it.
Huh?
I think it's on iTunes.
It is on iTunes. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I can always show you to hang out if you want to watch an episode of it.
Oh, that should work then.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, I'd like to see it.
Yay, internet. Well, you know what? There's plenty of things to see because our next story has to do with Hulu. And Hulu's going to allow free viewing on mobile this summer. If you don't have Hulu or you don't subscribe to it, you're still able to watch it on more devices starting this summer. At an event in New York this morning, Hulu CEO Mike Hopkins announced that the streaming service will begin letting viewers watch a selection of TV shows on mobile devices rather than only allowing free viewing on the desktop. Hulu began to open up on mobile last year, but even today, it still limits viewers to watching select clips and not full episodes, which is really a bummer, Hulu, if you're listening. Free episodes will arrive on Android first and then come to iOS. Again, a bummer, dear. We need iOS. A redesigned iPhone app will be launching later this summer. So Hulu still is in talks with pay TV providers to begin integrating Hulu with cable boxes. But, get with the program. We want iOS, we want free, and we want lots of video. What do you guys think?
That's super interesting to me because I work out at the gym and I watch Hulu, and so many of their shows are not accessible. I have Hulu Plus, so I can watch it on my laptop, but then you can't actually watch a lot of the shows on my iPad because it must be a rights thing. So it's interesting that they're going to start to allow the content for free when I'm a paid member and I can't watch half the shows that I subscribe to on my iPad currently.
I suspect it's not going to be free forever. I really think it's like one of these things where they get people to develop the habit, and then, oops, you have to pay for it. But we'll see. I don't know.
Hulu's so cheap. It's like I don't know.
$7.99.
There's no reason not to pay for it in my mind. But
Right.
that's just me.
It's one latte.
I
Do you have
agree.
Hulu and Netflix?
I do. I have Netflix, Google, and then Amazon Prime.
Wow.
Those three. I binge. I am a
Binge
binger.
watcher. You're a binge watcher.
I basically I don't watch TV at all, and then I'll get into a show and just watch every single season until it's over, and then I'll move to another thing. I don't
That's what I
typically
do.
watch anything show by show.
Okay, Steve, what about you? What's your view on this?
Yeah, I think it's good that Hulu's finally getting on the mobile platform because we're seeing mobile moving in a big way. So I think that's the reason why they did it, because a lot of, with the tablets and the smartphones, people are doing a lot of things using mobile devices. So it's kind of natural for them to want and adopt more users that way.
Definitely. Have you got an Apple TV yet, Steve?
No, not yet. I mean, I've got, like I said, I still have my Mac Mini attached to my I actually haven't used it in a while, but now actually when I had my cable fixed, it was just a bad cable, but they actually put on a new box, cable box, and it's a newer one. It's actually got new features and other things, so I was kind of playing with that for now.
Maybe you should do a video on it. Can you do a video on it for us next week, maybe?
I'll have to see, maybe. Yeah. Because I could do it during the broadcast, but I probably wouldn't be able to do a YouTube video because I know they're very big on not showing, digital rights management and all that.
Yep, definitely. Okay, Jennifer, what about you?
Well, I think it's a good thing that they're going in this direction. I agree with Steve. A lot of people right now are viewing Hulu on mobile devices as well as other services via mobile platforms. So this is definitely something that they need to do in order to stay in the game. One thing I would love to see, since they're doing this, is maybe throw in some people that pay a perk and cutting out the commercials.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, because I pay for it too, and I really would love to see it without ads.
Yeah, that's a lot of people
don't show it
complaining about
without
Foxtel
ads?
as well on the Facebook page about ads and that,
Mm-hmm.
Why are we paying all this money? We just get 5
Get the
ads. Just
Well,
Right.
Foxtel used to be ad-free. I remember there was a time when it used to be ad-free. That was a
Really?
very long time ago, though. Like 10 years ago.
well, yeah.
What's crazy is they don't really make a big profit. I mean, Hulu is not a cash maker. I mean, even with people paying and even with ads, it's they struggle. I mean, I know that from my days at Hearst because of that whole media partnership. It's not very profitable for them.
Okay. Interesting. Okay, Jennifer, anything else you want to say?
I'm curious, would you pay more money if it didn't have ads? Would you pay maybe $15 a month for Hulu without ads, or $10 a month?
I'll pay $30 for a show just not to watch ads. Like
Yeah.
for a season.
For a
So
season.
there'll be something on Hulu that I could watch, the first season of something that I now find interesting, but instead I'll buy it on Amazon Prime for $30 or iTunes or whatever, just so I don't have to watch ads.
Yeah.
It's a waste of time. I mean, it's really about, it's an extra, if you think about a whole season, it's 45 minutes, 50 minutes, whatever it might be, and you can cut it down by like 30%.
Mm-hmm.
And who wants to watch
point.
ads every
Have you got
time?
Have you got an Apple TV, Julie?
I do, with a projector. I don't actually have a cable, but I have a projector with Apple TV.
Okay, nice. Do you use it a lot?
We not typically. If I want to watch a show, I'm usually at the gym. That's where I kind of binge watch. I'm only allowed to watch TV if I'm on a exercise machine.
Oh, okay.
Because I'm a binge watcher.
Yeah.
So I have a problem. But I really like the projector in the Apple TV because it separates you a bit from just, kind of cruising cable.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to kind of turn it on. You got to let the thing warm up. It projects on the wall. It's beautiful and wonderful, but it does take a bit of work to even get there. So you have to really be, yes, let's watch a movie. And that's what you're going to do. It's not a passive thing. It's a very active thing, which I like.
Nice one. Jacob, what about you?
I like it, but I was looking at the website while you guys were talking. I was going to think about looking at the Felix the Cat.
Haha, nice.
Felix the Cat.
Love that show back in the day.
They have all the episodes on Netflix.
What about Garfield?
I don't know, but I had a teacher that looked like Garfield.
But yeah. Okay, interesting. Okay, anyone else want to mention anything? Mark, do you want to mention anything about this?
The bad thing, it was a lady.
Hang on, Jacob. Go ahead, Mark.
Well, slightly related. I'm not sure if you saw the article about Hulu blocking VPN access.
Yeah, I've seen that one. Yeah, you mentioned that to me the other day on Twitter, yeah.
I haven't given it a try yet. I haven't used Hulu in a long time, though. Well, especially in countries like Australia and the UK and all of that, people probably won't be able to access it for much longer.
Exactly. And what about Netflix? Do you reckon that'll happen to Netflix as well?
I don't think so because I know they have a very high subscriber base in Australia, and I think they're actually aware of that.
That's what's funny.
So I think they'd lose quite a bit of money if they actually, there were tens of thousands of people in Australia who have Netflix, so they would lose a bit of money if they were to, cut us out completely.
Yeah. Well, think about it this way: if they got that many customers now, imagine when it's actually in Australia. They'll probably have millions of customers.
Well, my theory is, even when they come to Australia, I think that people are still going to be tunneling Netflix. And the reason is, even if they come to Australia, I reckon they won't have half the shows. It's a bit like Netflix is in the UK, I'm pretty sure.
It is, yep.
So I'm pretty sure the content varies quite a bit. Like, the UK might not have as much content as the US.
Oh, it might be a lot of Australian shows as well. Netflix Australia, if it ever takes off, it'd be mostly dominated by Australian TV shows, I would say.
I'm pretty sure you only need the one account, and just by toggling the VPN on and off, you can sort of switch between Australia and the US if it ever happens.
Yeah.
So that would be pretty good.
Okay, then, Jody, next story.
Well, we've had an interesting week with Vine having a website update. More video news. Apparently, they feel that this makes Vine the YouTube of 6-second videos. Vine wants to give everyone in the world the ability to watch your 6-second video masterpieces. So today, the company drastically overhauled its website. The result is something that's a bit closer to YouTube in concept anyway, but the videos are shorter. The site looks quite different. And before today, Vine's only let registered users see their home feed or visit someone else's profile to see their Vine clips. And now they're adding a slew of new features, including playlists, featured videos, channels, trending tags, and a dedicated section for the popular now videos. Random clips will be constantly, they'll play behind the site's search bar, so you can see Vines without even clicking on anything. And several of the features that improve discoverability, they've existed on the Vine mobile app, but now they're being pushed to the web version. Curious, like I know Vine, at one point it was like, everybody was talking about it, everybody had to try it, and it just seems like, then Instagram had Instagram video. Is anybody still using Vine?
Yes, I am. I'm using it every day. I love it.
Do you?
Yes, I do. I love it. I'm on there.
Anybody else?
Me.
I used it when it first came out, then I stopped using it.
Okay, why is that, Paul? You got bored of it, or?
No, I just forgot that it was there.
Oops.
Okay. All right. What about you, Julia? Julia, do you use it?
No, I use Instagram, the Instagram version. Now, I have it really is an art to create a really good Vine video, and I think that's what makes it challenging. It's so short, and the good ones, people take a lot of time and probably re-record and record over their recording in order to get something that's interesting in 6 seconds. So I think that it is a challenge for most people to create a really good Vine video, so they give up pretty quick because it's not interesting.
Do you record a lot of videos on your phone?
I do, but then again, they're not very interesting either. I think I don't know if you've ever watched the mashups of Vine videos on YouTube.
Okay.
Where they put them all together, like the best of Vine. If you were to Google the best of Vine on YouTube, it's just amazing the quality of videos that people put together and how they're able to tell a story in 6 seconds, 12 seconds, whatever it might be. I don't know that they're different between the channels, but it's actually a very beautiful thing. I don't remember what president it was, or someone said, if you need me to speak for an hour, I'm ready now. If you want me to speak for 5 minutes, it'll take me a week. Because in order to get really great content in a short period of time, it takes a lot of editing out and cutting and crafting that story really well. And I think that's the challenge with Vine, is that in such a short period of time, it's hard to edit everything out in order to create something compelling.
Right, yeah, definitely. Now, what about you, Jacob? I know you recorded a video on that on your iPod Touch, and that sometimes?
Yeah, my iPad.
And your iPad, yep.
The only thing I really watch on there is Suicide Girls.
Okay, let's not go there. Okay, that's great. Steve, what about you?
I don't know. I don't really take video with my iPhone, iPad, mostly pictures, but so I don't really use Vine that much. I mean, occasionally I notice people it would be posted on some of the social network sites, it does look pretty interesting what people can do with just 6 seconds of video. Do a real quick story, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And what about Zafo, Steve? Have you checked out Zafo yet?
I kind of did, but I did have a few problems. Either I couldn't figure out how to log in, it wouldn't let me log in, or a few other problems. But I might still mess with it again. And,
have a go at it. It's been updated since probably last time you used it, so you can probably log in with Facebook.
It could have been user error. It could have been a lot of things. It could be my account, how I tried to log in.
I think it's user error.
Yeah, user error.
What's that, Jody?
I said it's probably user error.
Yeah.
Like you said.
Oh, that's not okay.
Okay. What about you, Jennifer?
I don't use Vine. I kind of gave up on it after it came out. However, I will look at Vine whenever someone says, "Hey, Jen, check out my Vine," and then I'll go look at it, like our friend Vincent Brown does.
Oh yeah.
But I will tell you, since the site has had this overhaul, if you were to go to Vine.co, click on the animals channel.
Oh yeah, definitely animal. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, this animals channel! I've been watching it the whole time you guys have been talking and smiling the whole time.
Yeah.
It's so cute. It's just So.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I seen some dog on there yesterday. It was really cool.
Oh, so adorable.
Very cool. Very cool. Even dogs now, very great dogs. What about you, Mark? Do you record a lot of videos, mate? Or Vine?
Not often. I only use Vine once, so I pretty much mainly use Instagram over Vine for video and pictures.
Oh yeah. Fair enough. Jody, what about you?
I agree with Mark. I use Instagram more than I use Vine. I have used Vine. It's just like Julia said, it takes a lot of thought to make it really good. I'm kind of like let's take a video. Okay, that's done. So, and Instagram seems to have more of a feeling of community.
Yeah.
No, I just think Vine's easy to use, right? It's easy. You just hold your thumb down and then just...
Well, I think Instagram also concentrates more, on pictures as well, which I'm guessing Vine still doesn't do. So, of course, Instagram was always pictures for a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's growing very quickly, but it is a sense of community in the sense that, I post obviously a lot of pictures of dogs, and now I have like these connections with people who have dogs. And Vine it seems more kind of like esoteric. I don't know if there's any. It's not like tagged the same way or something. I don't know. It just doesn't seem like. I don't know. Maybe it's just because I didn't give it a fair chance.
What about Flickr, Jody? Do you use Flickr at all?
No. I in the very beginning I did, but no. I mean, there's so many other photo storage options.
Okay. All right. Next story.
Next story. Another social network that I don't use. Oh. So for those of you who like Snapchat, well, you know what? It's one of those things where, you know, here in the U.S., Snapchat has been kind of controversial, but that being neither here nor there, Snapchat has added ephemeral text chat and video chat. So, okay, what does that mean? So they are adding features on top of their highly successful ephemeral messaging platform. Today, 2 new features are a good old chat interface and a new FaceTime-like video calling feature. So basically, you can send conversations back and forth. With the FaceTime type application, it only works as long as you hold your finger on the button, and then when your finger lets up, it ends the video. If you want to switch from your front-facing camera to a back-facing camera, all you need to do is drag your thumb to the upper half of the screen. The camera will automatically switch. And that's why they feel that these interface refinements are what makes Snapchat such an effective messaging app. When you're done with your call and chat, you can go back to your inbox. And getting into text chat is a major move for Snapchat. Many competitors, such as ANSA, tried to make Snapchat for text messages happen with various levels of success. Again, it remains to be confirmed whether the Snapchat user base is going to appreciate these features. Snapchat's no longer just a service to send quirky selfies.
Yep.
Unfortunately, the update hasn't hit the Play Store or the App Store yet, but
it
has it? So it is available?
Yes, it is.
And Brad, I know you've tried this.
I've tried it. Jacob tried it. Jacob, what's your view on it first? Let's go to you first, and then I'll tell you what I think of it.
I like it. It's actually much better better than just sitting there just snapping photos every 5 seconds.
Yeah, it is very fun. I love the video part and the text part. That's the fun part. Jennifer, have you used it yet?
Yes, I have been using it. I really enjoy it. I like the texting part, like you said. Mm-hmm.
That's a good part, yeah. Julia, do you use Snapchat?
No.
Okay.
if my little cousin uses it, I'm automatically like, I don't know. I don't think I can be on there. I think it's like exclusive to the kids.
Okay. Yeah, and it's the one where they can send something that it's supposed to be deleted, right?
Yeah, it is.
Right.
Okay.
But then people take screenshots of their
Exactly.
phone when the thing comes in. Yeah, it was one of those where it's like, okay, so this is not for me. Regular text and chat is just fine. But I didn't even know about all those updates, so I'm a little bit behind in the times. My cousin would be very disappointed in me.
All right, what about you, Steve? Do you use Snapchat?
Oh no, I never really used it. I mean, I use it just iMessage on my phone. As far as that goes, if I really need to, which is just really text messaging, I guess. Of course, you can integrate it with, if you got a Mac computer or something too. But
yeah, I love iMessage. Mark, what about you? Do you use Snapchat?
No, I gave it a try. No, it's not really for me.
Okay, fair enough. What about you, Paul? Do you use it?
No, I just had it on mute, sorry. Yeah, I haven't really used that at all. So all I've used is obviously iMessage and was it Facebook Messenger, and that was about it.
Yeah, they actually got a good update too. Facebook Messenger, they got a good update, which is pretty good. Okay, next story, Jody.
Those of you who are still using Microsoft may be aware or may not be aware that Microsoft had an update to fix a serious zero-day vulnerability in Internet Explorer, which, if left unpatched, could have allowed a hacker to remotely gain access to your PC and cause trouble. Malicious code would be slipped through your browser by visiting an infected site, and it's not a theoretical threat. Microsoft said it's aware of limited targeted attacks having already occurred in the wild. The threat was so severe that the U.S. government urged everyone to stop using Internet Explorer right away, for those of you who were still using it, and recommended using third-party software such as Chrome or Firefox until a fix was issued. That day has come, and for those of you clinging to Windows XP, you're in luck because Microsoft even made a security update for Windows XP users. So, interesting news from those IE users, whoever you may be. Anybody get hit with this vulnerability?
Jacob, did you?
No, but you want to know what I had to do with my dad? It took my dad's laptop away for a whole week.
Damn. Okay.
Why?
So he wouldn't get bit with the bug.
Why didn't you just load a different browser?
He's an IE person.
Wow.
So I had to wait till the patch came out.
I love that about
confiscated it.
About parents and grandparents. It's like, oh, you can use a different browser. No, that's not possible.
But I always use that little E at the bottom of the screen.
I know. I don't know what to do.
So they can watch.
You can't get there from here.
So they can get on the internet when they're in their horse and buggy going to the general store.
Does anyone else look at your parents' or grandparents' like browser bar and almost have a heart attack? Because everything's bookmarked and it's all over the place, and you just don't understand like how they are able to navigate the web with their current structure.
Desktop is atrocious. I just put everything on the desktop.
I have to brag a little bit because my mom, who is going to be 90 in a year, bless her heart, she has an iPad, and when I tell you the woman is savvy, she figures her way around pretty well. It's pretty cute to watch. And it's amazing when you think about the technology. Like to her, she was using the iPad. She goes back to the PC and she says, "My PC's broken." I said, "What do you mean it's broken?" And she's touching the screen and it wasn't working.
It's like kids and older people are the same way. Like they'll be on an iPad and then they'll go to the computer and be like, "Why can't I just change the channel by touching the screen?"
Wow.
This is funny.
Okay, then next story, Jody.
Okay, well, I find this really fascinating about Google Glass, and it seems like recently the buzz has been a little bit anti-glass. Well, apparently, if you tear down the glass itself into its basic components, the total value of the parts is less than $80.
Oh wow!
But of course, it isn't about the parts, right?
Right?
$80. Jesus.
It's $1,500 worth of research and development.
Damn.
Right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
$1,500 of creeping everyone out around you.
I love the way you think, Julia. Really. I think the same thing. And it's like, I don't know, when it first came out, I thought, wow, that's really cool. And then the more and more I see of it and I hear of it, it's just like, wow. It's unfortunate. I think part of it may be the way they've marketed it with this whole like explorers or whatever they call themselves. And, it just became day class A.
The biggest problem is when you see someone with Google Glass on, you're like, what a douche. Like it's like immediately what you think. And when they become good looking, perhaps they'll have like maybe a little blinking light, like something to like indicate that I might be recording you, or it might be, I think it's the confusion around like, why are you wearing them? Like, do you need to wear these right now? And I think there are cases where they work, but most people right now are wearing them just to wear them. And that's why they're expensive. I mean, they're probably expensive for a lot of different reasons, but it's when they look good, when they look like Warby Parker glasses or like product, glasses, I think that people's minds will change. Right now, it's why we paint aliens in a certain way and all of that. It just looks weird. So it freaks us out.
Okay, Jennifer?
Well, I don't wear mine all the time, and people don't call me a douche when I wear them.
I'm sorry. I have a pair as well. It's just more about the perception of other people. I mean, being in a party and someone's wearing them, they're like, why?
I wear it to conferences when I go to conferences, and mainly it gets a lot of attention, and I kind of do it to kind of attract people, like, to come up and kind of gather attention. And they always ask about them, but I don't wear them all the time like I thought I would initially. I don't wear them when I go to the grocery store anymore. I'm finding, I don't know, when it first came out, I was like, yeah, this is so great. And now I'm just, I don't know, I guess I'm bored with it or something. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe it's the negative connotation surrounding it that discourages me from wearing it. I think that might be it.
Or you could get mugged, like what happened with Sarah Slocum.
Like with Sarah. So regarding the components, though, costing $80, Google says that's absolutely not true. But they didn't talk more about that. So I would be curious to find out exactly how much it does cost to throw one of these together, because they really are selling it for an awfully expensive price point.
It is. Okay, Steve, what about you? What's your view on Google Glass and this story?
Well, I don't think it's necessarily the cost of the parts per se. I mean, probably a lot of research and developments went into it. Obviously, what is it, the third generation now? Something like that.
I think so, yes.
Of course, the development behind it and things like that. So, yeah, that's my thought.
Okay.
How much did the new MacBook Pro cost to actually make?
I'm not sure, but I know for a fact there's better parts than Google Plus.
Yeah, they're probably more expensive.
Yeah, more expensive and better quality. Jake, what about you?
About the Google Glass.
Yeah,
I wouldn't use them, because if you're paying $1,500 for something that you can make for $80, jeez. Spend that money elsewhere.
Well, I'm guessing the consumer version is going to be much cheaper when they actually come out.
For about $80, I reckon, I hope.
Yeah.
A penny.
Yeah, $80 is probably enough for me. Mark, what about you?
I don't have a problem with the current price. So at the same time, I don't think I could justify getting a pair for $1,500.
Yep, definitely. Paul, you have a view on this story?
Yeah, well, initially when I saw Google Glass, I thought, because when they demonstrated it, I thought, oh, this is going to be something like a GoPro competitor, they built in GoPro into in your glasses, that type of stuff, but when I look at it, most people that actually get it aren't, like, they would have a GoPro to do that stuff. They wouldn't actually, put these Google Glasses on and essentially do the same thing as they would with dangerous sports and that type of stuff. But yeah, initially I thought of it as a GoPro with notifications.
Okay.
Yeah, but I would see them if it was as good quality as the GoPro. I would say it would be a good market for people that actually did extreme sports and that type of stuff and wanted to video record that type of stuff. But other than that, yeah, I wouldn't go for it myself.
All right. Good answer. Jody, next story.
That's pretty much our stories for today.
No, you missed number one. You missed the Facebook, the Foxtel one.
Oh, did I miss the Foxtel? All right, let me...
Number one.
And number 7.
You know why, though? Because I jumped in with the other video stuff. So Foxtel has Foxtel Play, and it's going to join PlayStation 4. Now, I know you guys are heavy gamers, so just hold on for just a second. Foxtel Play is now available on compatible PlayStation 4 devices following on from PlayStation 3 via the Foxtel Play app. Foxtel Play allows for a subscription to select channels without the need for a traditional home installation. I guess that this is exciting news for you gamers.
It is. I'm going to go to Mark first. Mark, what do you reckon? Because I know you got a PS4 and what do you rather on? What console do you like better?
Well, at the moment, I'm preferring the Xbox One. You know, I know it's not as good, though. I personally prefer the games and all of that. Though, I think it's good that it's coming out on newer consoles. The only thing I can't blame Foxtel from a business point of view. But obviously, if you are a normal subscriber, you cannot log into Foxtel Play. You can only, log in on the iPad or the iPhone or, Android. You can't log in on any other game consoles. Which, obviously they're trying to, not lose money with the whole multi-room thing, though. I think it's pretty good they're releasing apps on the next-gen consoles. Yeah. They'll probably get more subscriptions from people who cannot get the full, subscription installed, or maybe younger children, that sort of thing.
Yeah, definitely. It's a good idea. If you can't get Foxtel, you can get the Foxtel Play. Paul, what about you? What's your view on that? Have you got a PS4 or an Xbox One?
Have PS3.
PS3, okay.
But I haven't used that in maybe, 2 years.
Okay, well, there you go. Maybe you can get the Foxtel Play on your PlayStation then now.
Yeah, I know. It's on the PS3, so I know you can get a Foxtel on there if you wanted to go for it.
Yeah, definitely. Personally, I think having the box is better quality, in my opinion. Jacob, what about you? What's your view on this story? I know you haven't got Foxtel over there, but do you reckon it's good? Or?
Well, I think it's pretty good, but they need to keep up with the IQ Box's quality.
Well,
the new one's coming out in a few months.
The new one's coming out very soon, man. I can't wait. I'm getting one definitely. Are you going to get one, Mark?
The video quality.
Yeah, definitely. Built-in Wi-Fi and that sort of good stuff. It's going to be good.
Yeah, I think they have... I'm not sure if they have the same box in America, though Pace makes them.
Okay.
But they have a new feature which I'm excited about. If you have two boxes, you can pause a TV show on one box and resume it from another box.
Yeah. Nice one. Do you use the look back feature on your Foxtel box, Mark?
Yeah, I have been using it. I often use it on A&E to see if there's any hardcore porn on or anything.
I'm hooked on A&E. Best channel.
Yeah, they don't play it nearly enough. I always look back and it hasn't been on in the past 24 hours, which is disappointing.
It is very disappointing. I'm also annoyed about them playing old episodes of hardcore porn, which they need to play. The next season is on Foxtel. They should really get the right to play it, right?
Yeah, one issue I have with Foxtel is I think they have a pretty poor catch-up service in terms of the amount of content.
Yeah, definitely. Yep. Okay, Jody, do you have a view on this story at all? Or?
No, but we have one more story.
Go ahead.
Okay, so I don't know if you've been hearing this on the news over there, but we've been hearing this on the news about this new game changer that's supposed to be coming out from Apple. And they're saying that everybody's going to have one under the Christmas tree. And the game changer that they're talking about is the Apple iWatch. Apparently, they're rumored to come out with this iWatch later this year. Apple declined to comment, and obviously, it's going to really depend on what kind of features that this iWatch is going to have. Several wearable devices that are already on the market, such as the Pebble and the Fitbit, focus on fitness tracking, but many consumers are going to expect a lot more versatility from an Apple device. And so far, there hasn't been a wearable device on the market that's been a home run. They called the Samsung Galaxy Watch a dud, and apparently users were turned off because it had a difficult user interface, disappointing battery life. But we're still looking at Apple to have some kind of a miraculous product that's going to be coming out just in time for Christmas. Whether it looks good or not, obviously, is going to be important. I think we learned that story with the Google Glass. If it's odd looking or strange looking, it may not take. And again, I don't know how many people are actually going to trade in their Rolex for an Apple iWatch. Any thoughts about what you think it should? You know what I mean? What do you think? I mean, do you think it's going to be a hit or a dud?
I think it'll be a hit. I think a lot of people are waiting for this sort of thing, and I think it'll be sold pretty well. Mark, what about you?
Well, I haven't tried it yet, though.
I haven't seen it.
I was talking about the Galaxy Gear. The new ones have just come out recently. We've got some where I work. I'm thinking about testing one, though. I know that. Have you heard of the Galaxy Gear 2 Neo? It's one of the newer ones. The newer Samsung smartwatches.
Okay.
So anyhow, it looks pretty good. I mean, it's waterproof, dustproof. You can even change TV channels on it.
Yeah.
And it's got a heart rate monitor. It can completely monitor your fitness. But I'm not sure. Apple might release their own. I always, take Apple rumors with a huge grain of salt. People have been going on about, a new Apple TV being released for the past 2 years. That hasn't really happened. No. We'll just have to wait and see if they end up releasing one, and then if it will be any good.
Definitely. Paul, what are you?
Well, I currently have one of the Gear Fits, and I actually absolutely love it. It pretty much is the first smartwatch I've had that actually fits the curve of your wrist, because it's a curved screen. And plus, it lasts 3 days of battery and that type of stuff. And the main reason why I got it is because it actually does work really well with the whole fitness stuff on it and that type of stuff. It doesn't work if you're actually at the gym on a treadmill, though, because it won't measure your distance because you're not actually moving, essentially. But other than that, it actually works really well with the heart rate monitors and all that type of stuff. But yeah, the Gear Fit, as far as I'm aware, is actually quite good, and it's very easy to use. If Apple comes out with something similar, I'd be happy with that.
So Paul, have you moved right across from Apple to Android now? Are you a main Android user now, or what?
No, I still use my iPhone.
I do? Okay.
Here and there.
Good. Good to hear. Steve, what about you?
I think, I don't know, it's maybe it might be good. It just all depends. I mean, if it's going to be tethered to the iPhone constantly, might be a problem, or if you can also be independent of it and just connect through Wi-Fi or something like that. And supposedly, I don't know if it is kind of tethered with the iPhone as far as some of the health benefits. I know with their new processor, they have the, I believe it's the M7 coprocessor, which allows for storing of data as far as health data. It might be useful. I have to see. I don't know. Maybe.
Okay. What about you, Julia? Do you have a view on this story?
I am really obsessed with this topic. I have a Basis watch, which is incredible. It's kind of bulky, but it does the heart rate. It shows me the time and the date, and it does calories and how many steps I've walked, and it actually does know when I'm on the treadmill. It's based on some pretty Intel just bought Basis about a month ago. And I'm pretty obsessed with it. And I love the whole tracking your sleep, and when I know I'm in REM, if I've gotten a good night's sleep, and you can set habits. So you can say, I want 3 times a week to sleep more than 8 hours a night, or this is how many steps I want to walk every day. And then you basically get points, and it's the whole thing. What kind of bothers me is the attaching your phone to your wrist. I kind of already think that we are rewiring our brains based on our obsession with technology. So I have a little bit of a challenge of having your wrist buzz every time that you get a text message. I don't think it's really going to help our ADD culture in many ways when it comes to technology. But I do love the health benefits from having a little companion on your wrist. But I'm sure that Apple will integrate more of the phone into the watch. I mean, that would seem to make sense to me.
Yeah, I use the Human app and the another app called which tracks how much you walk on it. It's pretty good.
Mm-hmm. But then you have to have your phone on you, right? Which isn't always the case. Like, you don't get a lot of credit for all the stuff you do when your phone's not in your pocket, which it shouldn't be in your pocket all the time. You should leave that thing.
Really?
I think so.
Okay.
Well, that's a good thing about that Galaxy Gear. The Gear Fit. It actually, you can leave your phone at home and it'll do all the recording for you, and then you sync up with your phone when you get back home.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Okay, good.
So I thought was really good, because it actually does save the data on the watch, and then when you get back home, you can sync her up and look at what you had, how well you did, and all that sort of stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There's a reason that the Do Not Disturb button is, or the functionality is included in the phone now. I think that, there, as much as having been constantly connected is awesome, being able to disconnect from the distractions, not awesome data about how much you've walked or what your heart rate is, but if someone's emailing you to have your wrist vibrate, it's like it's not necessary, right?
Okay, Jennifer, what about you?
Well, I think that the iWatch will be a definite huge seller, especially during the holiday season. So yeah, we're all kind of expecting that. I'm excited about the Motorola, the Motorola 360, the Android Wear that's coming out this summer. I'm going to be looking into that, but then also when the iWatch comes out, knowing me, the geek I am, I'll have to get that as well.
Yeah.
But I am really curious, Julia, about what you're talking about with Basis. I just looked it up now, and I had not heard of this. I've been using a Fuel Band for the past few years, but I haven't heard of Basis, and it looks fantastic for measuring your sleep and just all it does here. I'm really impressed with the website. I'm wondering, does it speak with other apps as well? Or
not really. I mean, Intel just bought them about a month ago, so I think that they will be able to expand. They raised some money, and their technology is really, really good. But they don't. Every time I've reached out to customer service, I get the same guy. So you know that they're a small shop. You know, so I bought two. I bought one for me, one for my boyfriend, and I had some complications with his, and now I'm having a little bit of issue with mine. And their customer service is great, but they are new. But the technology that's inside the watch is way better than any of the others that I've seen. But they don't integrate yet. But like I said, Intel just bought them, so I imagine you wait 6 months to a year, and they'll probably be Fitbit-like in that regard.
Sounds good.
Very cool.
Jennifer or Jody, have you heard about Vic leaving Google Plus? What's your view on that? Jennifer, about that?
Yeah, I have heard about that. I think we spoke about that last week.
Yeah, we didn't talk
on the
about
show
that in much detail, did we? Or?
No, we didn't really. So I don't even know what my view is on it. It's all. I really don't have one. He's brought so much to the table with Google Plus, and it's sad to see him go. But I'm hoping his successor will step in and keep it going, and I'm excited to see where Vic will land next. And do we know yet? Has that been announced yet?
No, it hasn't. No, that hasn't been.
Okay,
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
He hasn't said why he left, but does that matter? Does people need to know why he left, or?
I guess maybe it was just a personal decision. I think it does matter, I guess, to some people because he is so in the public eye, and they want to know, well, why are you leaving Google? We love Google. Why are you leaving? What's up with that? So I guess it does matter to the public, but that's a personal decision on his part. So he doesn't have to share it, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. What about you, Jen? What's your view on this?
Well, interestingly enough, I do from time to time the Google Plus Week show with Dan McDermott and Alan and the whole crew over there. And I have to tell you, my phone, I think I was at a dog show when it happened, and or maybe it happened in the middle of the night. I don't even know. But my phone did not stop for 2 days with everybody conjecturing what was going to happen and what did it mean, and did he leave of his own volition? Was he asked to leave? Is Google Plus going to be annihilated because that was his baby? What about Hangouts? Is that separate? Who's going to take over? And then they didn't like, okay, the guy that's taking over, do we like him? Do we not like him? And I mean, it was just everybody's, you would have thought that they worked at Google, So,
yeah.
Kind of funny. But I guess the consensus that I've been hearing, and again, anybody can chime in, but my impression is that although we all thought of Vic as being the father of Google Plus, apparently he wasn't necessarily the most beloved within the organization. And there's some hope that maybe there's going to be some new unity and maybe some new direction, but my impression is that the programs that are in place are not being folded and terminated. So, and again, if anybody else wants to jump in, that's cool, but that's just what I heard.
Okay. Julie, you have a view on that, or?
Not really. Google Plus is kind of a pain in my butt.
Wow.
It's just like another place I have to go and post, and no one's really there, or there are like certain people there. But it's, I mean, it's good. I mean, you do it because you know that Google matters, and that if you have a business or a brand or a thing that you want to promote, you should post there. Yeah. But they don't integrate with any of the services, so it's like, I don't know. I haven't really followed much of this news story, but Google Plus and Hangouts and all that stuff is great, but I mean, there's a joke that's like, oh, did someone create a social community for people that work at Google? Oh yeah, that's called Google Plus. So that's kind of where I stand there.
Do you use Facebook or Twitter more these days, Julia?
They serve different purposes for me. So, Twitter's always been a networking thing where I get to keep up with people I don't really know, and keep my network of weak ties strong. And for Facebook, it's, having my mother post creepy things about me on my personal page. And I don't use social media the way that typical people do because I've been on it for so long and I have a lot of fans and followers, which kind of ruins it for me a little bit. It's not as fun for me, I think, as it is for people where Facebook is actually their friends. For me, it's a bunch of random people I don't really know.
Okay. Jacob, what's your view on that story about Vic? You said something about it. What do you reckon?
Not much, because it's a surprise to me.
The reason why he left, what was it?
I don't know.
You said so. Okay. All right. Okay. Who's on today? Who's the guest today, Jacob?
Julia Roy.
Ow! Ow!
Ow!
What's that supposed to be, a cat?
I didn't know what noise I was supposed to make. That's the first thing I came up with. You have to remember, it is Friday night for me at 11 o'clock. So I have had a couple. I have had a couple of glasses of wine. I'm not going to lie.
That's all right. Tell us about what you do, Julia.
What do I do? That's a very good question. I've been in social media for a long time. I started the social profiles for when there was no social profiles for the brands of CNN, BMW, Pepsi, and many others. Then I went on to work at Coach, the luxury handbag company. Then I went to Hearst, the big media publisher here in New York, who prints a lot of our magazines. And I recently, as in the last 3 years, I went out on my own. So I do consult still in social, but I'm the type of person, when I get really good at something, I get super bored and I don't want to do it anymore. So now I'm focused on productivity, where I go in to corporate, to small businesses and some corporate businesses, and do productivity training. So emails, meetings, project management, help people work better together and love their technology. And I'm starting to build that business and figure out how I can move that online, and then still doing my social media consulting. So I'm kind of a woman with a bag of a lot of tricks.
Nice one. Okay, Jennifer, any questions?
Yeah, I'm curious about work hacks. Can you tell me about that? What is Work Hacks?
So it is a productivity consultancy in like the simplest terms. I started it as a way for me to. I'm obsessed with technology, and I love new tools and tips and tricks and apps. And I found that I would meet with my friends or meet with people, in companies that I didn't work at, and they were just like, you have to come in and teach, my team about, how we can work better together and how we can use technology to, how we can better leverage technology really to get more done in less time. Because a lot of times it's amazing. You sign up for a Gmail account and you just open it up and you just start using it, and you don't realize there are thousands of plugins and there are so many different ways you can customize it to make it work better for what you needed to do. Right. And so I take all the time because I'm a little bit neurotic about moving all my to-dos to the new to-do list so I can figure out what it's good for, and then realize it's not good for me, but it would be good for a person that has this type of workflow or this type of process. So it's really more a passion of mine, and I like helping people really start to love their computer again, because, I think most of us, not I think the people on this call, but or on this podcast, that most people go to work and they work on their computer and they almost struggle with it.
You're right.
And I liked when people's eyes light up when I install a plugin in their Gmail and they're like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. And they get excited again about being on the computer and using it, because they feel like they're in control, like they're customizing it to do what they need it to do versus just having it out of the box. So it was just like a passion project of mine, and I was doing a lot of free consulting and free workshops and free tutorials, and now I'm trying to figure out what the potential real business would be.
Mm-hmm. Now, you also have a podcast too, right?
I did. I published an episode, and then of course podcasts. There's so much work. You guys know that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it was I launched a podcast called Brain Hacks. I'm obsessed with how the brain works, and it's I really love learning about neuroscience because it also does really inform productivity and how we work with technology. And if you think about the singularity and how we're going to merge with technology and kind of where we are in the spectrum of how technology is going to change our lives, it's very kludgy in the sense that email first started as a way for us to like send an email to a friend and for our friend to write back, and now we use it as project, the way that we manage projects and our time and all of that. So I'm very interested in how that's all going to play out, and I really do like to get people excited about the future of technology as well.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Mark or Paul, do you have a question? Mark, question? Paul, you have a question?
Bring it.
Yes. Bring it on. Ask 2 questions at the same time.
Hey, I can get in the ring.
Someone start the question and then someone else finish the question.
There you go. Mark, go ahead.
Why?
Do
Continue.
so I'm gonna do this word at a time.
That's lame. Okay, Mark, just go ahead. Ask the question, man.
I'm really not sure what to ask.
Okay, that's right, mate. That's right. That's all good. Steve, questions? Any questions?
Yeah, actually, I can get in the ring. Ding, ding. There. Yeah, you said you work with companies trying to, utilize technology. Have you ever, went to a company and they like maybe have, not even using anything, starting basically from the ground zero? Have you ever worked with companies like that, and how long did it take them to get up to speed?
No, I haven't. I mean, my sweet spot is a company that used to be small and now is like 30, 40, 50, and they start to grow because what happens is it they really didn't have any structure or kind of plan. There's no rules around how to email each other. There's no rules around like when to schedule a meeting, how to schedule it, and then having no rules is fine when you're 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 people, because everyone's going to be sitting around in the same meeting. It's not a big deal. But when you start to grow to 30, 40, 50 people, all of a sudden all those systems break down. What I've actually found is the biggest problem is that everyone's using different tools. So it's not that they're not using anything. It's that everyone brings their own like productivity, habits and the way that they worked at their old company or whatever it might be to the new company. And so everyone's working very, differently in their own little silos, but yet they're trying to be a cohesive unit, which is a challenge. I mean, project management is a whole kind of thing. I mean, you can definitely teach people better email habits, better meeting habits. And it really is about the technology, although I don't think that productivity problems are solved through a specific tool. Like if everyone were to use Basecamp, everyone's like problems will be solved. Typically, it's a culture problem. It's a problem where no one's, given the authority to make a decision. So you have, 100 meetings, in a given week. And I could teach you till I'm blue in the face about how to run a good productive meeting, but you're still going to have a lot of meetings because it's the culture, not the technology. So it's kind of like, it's very similar to everyday life where, you want to go to the gym and all this stuff, but the going to the gym isn't the problem. It's like a deeper problem of self-esteem and, like all that kind of stuff. So it's interesting when you think about productivity and technology in the way that, you have to change people's minds about how to work and what's important. Before you can even really tackle the issue of what technology you're going to use, what programs and systems are you going to implement, because they won't really fix the underlying problem.
Okay, good. And, Mark?
I do have, that's more of a general marketing question, really. So you're involved in sort of the whole social marketing thing a bit, is that right? Or
Yes, I was early on in social media. I actually started on Second Life. That was the first social platform I joined.
Oh wow.
I bought a bunch of land and I divvied it up. I was basically a real estate developer. Funny story is now I can't actually sign back on because I owe so much in back taxes in Linden dollars. So if I were to try to actually log on, they repoed my house.
I
It
would
was
get arrested.
auction. Yes, I made about 10 grand in Second Life, and I was like, this is interesting. I wonder how brands can use this as a way to market their products. I went to college for a really expensive degree that I didn't use. I was bartending at the time, actually, and I was like, maybe I'm a marketer. So that's kind of how that worked out.
So I'm not sure if you're so much into the whole marketing thing at the moment, though. I was wondering what your opinion was on the whole Facebook engagement issue that's going around at the moment. I'm not sure if you've heard of it.
Yes, I have clients that have heard of it. For sure.
Obviously there have been a few reports released lately saying that a lot of pages are actually only reaching, 2% of, their user base, through organic reach. And obviously that's a big concern to a lot of businesses because you need to, shell out money to actually pay to promote everything and get anywhere near the same amount of, interaction from people who like your page.
Yeah, I mean, Facebook needs to make money. I mean, they went public and, we're not being charged and Facebook really is a place for friends. I mean, I don't know about you, but even before this happened, I am a fan of so many pages because, it's a friends page or because I'm working with a certain brand or whatever. How many brand updates do you really see that are not sponsored in your news feed? Because what happened before is if I fanned Pepsi on Facebook, for example, and I fanned them because there was a contest or there was something that I saw and I ended up fanning their page. If I don't interact with them, I don't see their updates anyways. And I think it was a little bit falsified to begin with. And brands have the money to pay to play. And actually, when you pay, it does actually work. I mean, it depends what your goals are. I mean, if your goals are to get email signups, then you can send people to an email sign-up page. And at the end of the day, I mean, as a marketer, what you really should be trying to do is get their email. You should have a newsletter, and you should be doing all of that because that's the only thing you can control. Facebook is constantly going to change its terms of service. Pinterest, Twitter, they all are. And you don't own that platform or those people. And it's that would be my suggestion to a brand, which is focus on email marketing and then have all the other stuff be an added bonus.
Okay, Jody, any more any questions?
Yeah, I'm curious. I know you did the webinar about sucking at email, and can you give us just a couple of hints what we're doing wrong, and are you doing the webinar again?
Yeah, so I'm going to actually post it. I did it twice, and I forgot to record it 2 times. If you're ever going to do a webinar, always have someone supporting you to answer questions and in the forums. So I did a You Suck at Email webinar, and then I had to follow up with a You Suck at Email and I Suck at Webinars post because I totally botched it. But yeah, so it's interesting because email, we were never actually taught how to use email properly. And again, it started out as like, I'm going to email my friend and my friend's going to, it's like writing letters back and forth. Instead of sending it through the post office, you send it through, email. And now we use it to manage really important projects. And, we have, hundreds of emails in our inbox at any given time. And we have to sort through it from like Bloomingdale's or, from all kinds of updates and newsletters to really important things that we need to do, that we need to take action on, and so a couple of mine is more about like email etiquette. So we really do ruin email for each other. So even simple things like having your subject line have 2 brackets, one following the other, and the first one being the action, like what action needs to be taken. So this is often like the flag, like this is important, please like look at this over other emails in your inbox, which is like action needed or signature needed or FYI, which is something that I can look at maybe at the end of the week because it's not something that's really important. Meeting notes. And then the second bracket would be topics. So it'd be like meeting notes on X brainstorm, whatever meeting that the notes are in response to. Or if it's action needed, please sign important contract, because then we can look at our inbox and it can be a real to-do list. We can look and scroll through and see, okay, so I'm going to take care of all the action needed first. Second, I'm going to, take care of the, the different kind of like going down the line. And then the FYIs and the meeting notes, I can just like put them in a folder and maybe look at them at the end of the week. Because as we know about like switch tasking and all of that, is that we look at our email all the time and we just are constantly processing it and it never ends. So if we can make it easier for each other to be able to look at it like a to-do list, like a task list, it will help with our saving time in the process of email, which I think we all, no matter how much email you get, it is a thing that you have to do every day, and it can be very frustrating. And then when it comes to writing emails, using bullets and, being right to the point, so often hi, how are you? I just want to let you know that my wife had a baby, and really important thing that you need to do, and other stuff, and other stuff, and other stuff. Like we just basically stream of consciousness, and it makes it really hard for the other person to take action and to clearly see what needs to be done. So instead of using email as like this way for us to just, kind of converse with each other in an inefficient way, like pick up the phone, talk about your kid, and send an email that says like, this is what I need you to do, thank you, bye. And what it requires is a bit of everyone like raising their hand and saying like, immediate team that I'm working with, let's just agree that we're going to use email this way. And if, I'm not going to reply and say congratulations. I'm going to give you a call and say congratulations. If I don't reply to a promotion or whatever with that's awesome, and then 19 other people reply with that's awesome, it's just an inefficient use of a really effective tool. And we just need to have a little bit of training and agreement that this is how we should start to use email so we can get in and get out and do important work. Because when we're in email, we can be in it all day. And you can leave your entire workday feeling like, what did I do today?
Yeah, what did I do? I did nothing. I know.
Nothing.
Everything you said resonated 1,000 times with me. It just, yeah. So, well said.
It really, everyone, when I do these like corporate workshops, and I do it online too, so I can't see like people's like faces light up and their heads nodding, but it's like everyone raised their hand. Let's just agree to not do this. And everyone knows, but if your boss replies with, that's great, everyone else is like, oh, do I need to do that too? And now you have 15 unnecessary replies that we all have to deal with. Like we all have to open it and figure out, is there something in there that I need to know? And so it's one of those interesting things where it's just about creating standards and rules. And even if you can do it with just your immediate team of 5 or 4, if you can just kind of sit around a table and say, let's all agree that we're going to do these 3 things better. It doesn't have to be a list of 20, but just like, let's do the subject line thing, or let's, start bulleting out, like, if there's a task that you need me to do, bold it or bullet it out or do something to call it out to me, so that I can process it easier and better, and that we can spend less time in our email and get more important work done.
All right, Paul, last question. We need to wrap up. Any questions, Paul?
No, I have no questions.
Okay. Julie, what's your favourite gadget at the moment you like to use?
My favourite gadget? Probably my Basis, only because we talked about it, but that probably is my favourite gadget for sure.
Oh, yeah, cool. Okay. All right. Jacob, any questions before we go?
No, sir.
All right, mate, what's your final view of this show, and where can I get hold of you, Jacob?
It was a pretty good show. I found it very interesting and informing.
Okay.
And you can follow me at Jaspot326691Z.
And you can also get me on Twitter, Brad, and Techwebcast. Steve, what's your final view of this show, and where can they get hold of you, mate?
It was a great show. I wish people would run meetings like the way that you say they run emails, but that's another story altogether.
Do you write a lot of emails, Steve?
What's that?
Do you do a lot of emails?
Sometimes, but like I said, it's the meetings that tend to be very long and drawn out, and I wish we would do them shorter.
Oh, don't get me started on meetings. We'll go another hour.
What sort of technology do you use for these sort of meetings, Julia? What sort of computer do you have?
Well, so my client is GoToMeeting, so I'm a little bit biased, but they've been a client of mine for 3 years.
Okay.
I like being able to see people's faces because you see if they're actually paying attention, which I think is important. But you can do that on Skype, you can do that on Google Hangouts, you can do that on lots of different platforms. It's more about the agenda and actually having a goal for the meeting because we have meetings to have meetings to have meetings, which is just silly.
Cool.
But again,
Agreed.
I will go for an hour. So.
And what sort of computer do you have? Do you work with? What sort of computer do you use?
Oh, I am a Mac. I'm a Mac girl for sure.
So you're wearing Apple
Everything Apple, yes.
stuff.
Although the Android is pretty sick. My boyfriend got an Android, and I'm a little bit jealous.
No, don't go to Android. It sucks.
Oh,
Don't crush my
I don't
world.
know.
Crest your dreams.
It's all bad.
No, it's-
Well, it's also what you know. It's like I'm so used to the iPhone.
Well, I suppose it
that's
depends on what phone you get, I suppose. And if you get one from the carrier, it's just terrible.
right. That's true.
Paul, what about you?
Yeah, you can get me on PK12 on YouTube and also Twitter, and you can also get the app on iTunes.
Good stuff. What's the app called again? PK Curry.
Yeah, PK12. I probably should work on the name on that. Yeah.
All right. Check out the great videos you do, mate. Great stuff.
All right.
Jody, what about you?
Had a great time chatting with everybody. I apologize. It's been a while since I've been on, and as always, I have a lot of fun here.
Yeah, definitely.
So thank you for having me on, Brad. And
Problem.
And great guest today, Julia. As always, it's a pleasure. And I guess if anyone's looking for me, you can find me. My website is webmarcom.net. You can find me on Twitter as Sunswept. You can find me most of the usual places as either Jody Rains or Webmarcom.
Good stuff. And your coffee gift on Facebook.
Yes, coffee.
Meant for that in. Okay, Jennifer, what about you?
I thought the show tonight was fantastic, and Julia, it was great meeting you. Really a pleasure.
too.
And
I will
thank
stalk you
you.
online now.
Vice
We're
versa.
connected everywhere before this podcast is even over.
I know, isn't that funny?
And mention your podcast, Jennifer, before you go. You may.
Oh, yeah. So
please.
I have a show as well. Thanks, Brad.
Yeah.
GetNerdyWithIt.com is the URL. And then so people can find me there, as well as JenniferRuggiero.com, and that's RUGGIERO.
Good stuff. And what guests have you had on so far, Jennifer?
You know who we're going to have on tomorrow, actually? We're doing the show tomorrow. We're going to be talking with Michael Santibans from Anopad.
Oh, okay.
So I'm looking forward to talking with him. Mm-hmm.
How many episodes are you up to at the moment?
This will be our 37th, so not that many, only 37.
Okay, that's good.
Trucking along.
Definitely. Mark, what about you?
I thought it was pretty good. There were a lot of interesting topics today, and I can just be found on AussieTechReviewer.com, which has links to my Twitter and Instagram, YouTube, all that stuff.
Do you do many podcasting, Mark? Do you much podcast stuff?
No, not really. No, I don't really do a podcast or anything. I know some people who are doing one at the moment, or they're trying to get one started up. They don't have much spare time at the moment with work and all of that.
Oh, yeah. Okay. What about you, Paul? You did a podcast a while back, and does that stop at all? Or?
Oh, yeah, that was a long time ago. I actually stopped because basically I was too hard to manage at the time.
Okay,
so I think the entire season was like 1 year and it was 10 episodes or something or other.
Damn.
If I remember correctly.
It was cancelled. Okay.
Okay, Julie, what about you? What's your final view of the show, and where can they get hold of you and if they want to email you?
It is amazing how hard a podcast is to actually publish every week. So I'm bowing to you guys for doing this, and you can find me on the web. You can Google Julia Roy. I made it a specific point to own the first 100 pages of my Google results, and I do.
Sweet.
So you can find all of my stuff there. Google does a good job at ranking it properly.
Okay. Are you on Twitter as well?
I am on Twitter, Julia Roy. Everything's Julia Roy. Facebook.com/Julia Roy. Twitter.com/Julia Roy. Flickr.com/Julia Roy. Facebook or YouTube.com/Julia Roy.
All the
You
same.
can find me. You can find me on Julia. Well, when you're first, it provides some advantages for sure.
My
Wow, what was that?
Was that the exit sound?
I'm not sure what that was. Not sure where that came from.
Someone said "my" with some music.
Yes, I'm not sure where it came from. Okay, great show. You're all welcome to come back on. Mark and Paul, come back on any time, mate. Guys.
Alrighty.
Julia, you're more than welcome to come back on as well.
Thank you.
And Jacob, thanks for being on, mate.
Thank you, Brad.
And Steve, thanks for being on, mate.
Okay, sure.
And Andrew's here.
And Steve, you lost the game.
And Andrew's not on today. He's out doing baby stuff. Yes, baby stuff. And thanks, Jodie, for being on. Good to have you back on.
Thanks. I'm glad to be here.
Hopefully you'll be back on next week.
Yeah, hopefully. Wish me luck tomorrow at the dog
Yes,
show.
good luck for tomorrow.
Thank you.
You'll be doing doggy stuff.
Yes.
I know.
Yeah, and thank you to
That's when
Jennifer.
rumors get started, you know.
Oh, that's hashtag doggy stuff.
Okay, yeah, that's right. Thanks, guys.
Well, that's it for Techwebcast this week. Thank you for tuning in. We hope you enjoyed having your mind expanded. Tune in next week for more tech talk with Brad, Jason, and whatever crazy guest they've managed to rope in. Don't forget to get the Techwebcast app from iTunes. Follow us on Twitter at Techwebcast, and of course check us out on Facebook too. Until next time, may the tech be with you. Peace.